Hey everybody, Mr. Bucko here reporting from my classroom and not my basement. And today we are going to put some equations in slope-intercept form. So I got three of them we're going to do real quick and get brushed up on that. So the first one we have is writing the equation 6x minus 2y equals 14 in slope-intercept form. And if we can remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So our finished product will have a number in for m and a number in for b, our slope and our y-intercept. So we have 6x minus 2y equals 14, and our goal here is to get y by itself. We'll get y isolated on the left-hand side of the equal sign here. So the first thing we're going to do using algebra is subtract 6x. And what we do to one side, we must do to the other side. So we subtract 6x on both sides of the equal sign, and when we do that, our result is negative 2y equals negative 6x plus 14. Notice I put negative 6x plus 14 and not 14 minus 6x. I did that to keep it in the format of slope-intercept form. It would have been fine to do 14 minus 6x, but just to maintain that continuity with slope-intercept form, I did negative 6x plus 14, and it's a plus 14 because this 14 is positive. There's no sign in front of it, which implies that it's a positive 14. We're not quite done yet. We have to get rid of this negative 2, and to do that we are going to divide by negative 2 because we are multiplying negative 2 and y, so I'm going to divide the left-hand side by negative 2, and similarly I have to divide the right-hand side by negative 2. Once I do that, we get y, because the negative 2's cancel out. Negative 2 divided by 2 is 1. This 3 comes from the negative 6 divided by negative 2. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. This negative 7 comes from 14, positive 14, divided by negative 2, and a positive divided by a negative is a negative. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So our answer for this question is y equals 3x plus 7. Notice we divide the entire right side by negative 2. Let's do another one. Write the equation 5x plus y equals negative 8 in slope-intercept form. Once again, slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. We have our equation 5x plus y equals negative 8. We want to isolate y, so the first step we're going to do is subtract that 5x. And we're subtracting 5x because it is a positive 5x, and 5x minus 5x is 0. It'll make it go away. But again, what we do to one side, we must do to the other. And when we do that, we get y on the left-hand side because the 5x's have canceled out. And we get negative 5x minus 8. I did it again where I just did negative 5x plus negative 8 or minus 8, and I did that to stay true to the format of slope-intercept form. Again, it would have been fine to say negative 8 minus 5x, but I decided to stick with this format so it's a little bit more obvious as to what that slope and y-intercept is if you are asked to find that as well. And we're done. There's no coefficient on y, so we don't have to divide this by anything. Y has been isolated, and this matches our slope-intercept form. Let's do one more. Y equals the equation, or write the equation, 7y plus 2x equals 21 in slope-intercept form. Once again, slope-intercept form, there it is. Here's our equation, 7y plus 2x equals 21. First thing I'm going to do, again, is subtract the x term, because our goal is to isolate y, so I'm going to subtract 2x. And I'm going to subtract 2x because it's a positive 2x. Again, what we do to one side, we must do to the other. When we subtract 2x from both sides, we get the 7y is still here, the 7y and the 7y. The 2x's are gone, and there's nothing there. And on the right-hand side, we have the negative 2x plus 21. Negative 2x plus 21 from taking the difference of 21 and 2x. Last step, divide by 7. Get rid of the 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1, but what we do to one side must do to the other. Divide all the terms on the right-hand side by positive 7, and we get y, 7 divided by 7, 1. Negative 2 sevenths, that comes from negative 2 divided by a 7. If we do negative 2 divided by 7, we're going to get fraction decimal. Leave it as a fraction. It's always best to leave slope as a fraction. It's easier, for one thing. You don't have to do any division. It doesn't look nice, but it's easier. And then the 3 comes from 7, or 21 divided by 7. So that's where this 3 comes from right here, is doing that division. And we're done. Y equals negative 2 sevenths x plus 3.